know what was happening there, but here in Nigeria, we are still where we are, the lowest there.
Amici, it's more appalling to note that, or to hear that government has been borrowing to pay this same salary that has not been paid. So is it a contradiction now that we've seen that you have been borrowing, and one of your people, the acting accountant general, has even said it, that the government has been borrowing to pay salaries, and we hear it that salaries are not being paid. The contradiction is too strong, and I pity the next government. How are you going to manage this situation?
And the workers at the state level are so weak. The governors are so powerful. There's nothing you can do about it.
They have a voice, which is the labor movement.
Can they dare even speak up at the state level?
In most of the states, certainly not. And it's very clear and obvious. And that's the reason why some of us have taken certain positions on some issues of giving more powers, to some of these demigods that we have in the 36 states,
as governors.
I mean, it's a basic. The Constitution, I think Section 14 talks about the security of lives, and then the welfare of the people. This payment of salaries is about welfare.
That's a primary.
It's a basic, it's a minimum. And what the government should be looking at is beyond, because if you look at the percentage, and that's what some of the governors will argue, that look, the civil servants just form maybe 1% or 2% of the entire population, and then you want them to devote all the money of the state to just this 2%. What happens to the other 98%?
So why don't you rationalize? Because of politics, what to you when you sack workers? They wait for you during the next election. So they lack that courage to do it and come back to complain. It's only the likes of El-Rufai that will do it. He will sack whoever he feels is not contributing to the GDP of the government, and stands to take the consequences. Others will not have that courage.
In the second term, when there is nothing else at stake, you can afford to do that and get
the strategic time.
Our states are very weak. An NGO, a civil society budget, released a document some years ago, States of the States. How many of those governors contesting in their states know the mineral production, know what they can develop in their states to augment the revenue federal allocation that comes to them? They just fold their arms and wait for the oil money to come, and that's what they manage, and that's what they get their security vote.
And when it's not coming, according to the EFCC, in the charges they preferred against the suspended accountant general of the Federation, of course, we read yesterday that his lawyers have approached the EFCC for a plea bargain. They want to return part of the 108 billion so that they will keep some and walk away, perhaps travel out and enjoy the loot. But EFCC is considering that it's a legitimate process, so we'll track it for you and see what is going on. But what is contained in the charges they prefer was that amount of money due to oil-producing states, the federal government was delaying in making payments, giving them what is due to them. They now decided to grease the palm of those around their accountant general's office so that they will speed that action, they will quickly pay. So the governors can't wait to have this money. They are even ready to offer bribes, up to 16 billion or so. That's what the FCC does. These are what are contained in the court papers. And they will just